Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We have an amazing episode 104. Tonight we're going to be covering Atlanta results and a little bit of the statistics around the decks. We're going to talk about a bunch of new spoilers that we got for Ashes of the Empire that we did not get to talk about last week. And of course, in keeping with our deck tech series, we have a Sebulba Yellow, I think, multi-aspect deck tech that we will be having Sam present for us. Joining me on the mic tonight is my good buddy, Alex. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. I saw that new Bob Odenkirk movie. That was fine. I enjoyed it. Pretty uneven, but it was fun. And I'm ready for this week's upcoming Swoo stuff. We got that PQ very soon. 6 days.
Yep. So what Alex is referencing is we are hosting, we're streaming. How about that? We're going to stream and partially host, I guess, the Michigan PQ at Excel RC and Hobbies. So if you want to come out and check out Alex and I, we will be out there. Alex will be also judging too. So he does a little of both, is my guess.
Commentate when I can.
Yeah. And then I will be out there doing all of the commentating for it. And then if Sam decides to bring Sebulba and then goes 0-3, he'll be joining me on mic as well for it. So hopefully this one will be a little bit more interesting than last one. We won't have a bunch of Leias like we did last so because it was limited last time, and it's not going to be limited this time. All right. Also joining us is Sam. How are you tonight, sir?
I am ecstatic. I'm very hyped for this PQ. I'm very hyped for the Sebulba deck tech. It's all coming together, baby.
Yeah, I thought about this, and so you're going to give this deck tech tonight, and then people are going to see this and know how to counter your list on Saturday, just so you know.
Probably, but I did not think about that.
Well, it's too late for that, baby. We are all in now.
Yeah.
Also joining me tonight is my friend JJ. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing all right. Had a couple of family incidents this past week, unfortunately, with people getting hurt. But had a good day today. Got to do my parents' house party today for the new house. Really excited for them. It's something I've been planning for a long time. And then also been playing around with Tobias Beckett. He's been a lot of fun to list build around and play around. And I find him pretty fun to play around with, just getting certain triggers off, which makes it really, really fun to play with Beckett. But yeah, excited to try out new stuff.
Yeah. And I think what we'll do too is we still owe you all a control-only Eternal cast. Just as an FYI, we still owe that. That will at some point happen. We will see kind of what happens. So just kind of to segue a little bit, Atlanta was this weekend. None of us got to go, unfortunately. But that's probably a good thing because the decks I would have brought probably wouldn't have done super well against the new meta beast Lando Lake County, which is hilarious because everybody's just trying these 34 health bases, and I keep asking, this is what drives me nuts, and so we could probably open the show by talking a little bit about that right before we even get into the statistics. I don't understand Boba Lake County made sense just because the majority of the cards you were playing were either villain or red, right? You weren't playing there wasn't a lot of yellow that added an extreme amount of input into it. So having that extra 4 health for the most part made sense. And any of the double red cards that you would play aren't worth playing anymore. We lost most of the double red cards that did anything.
The Relentless Fire Spray is mildly amusing, and that'd be about it.
And you know what? If that costs 4, I would tell you right now it would be playable. But at 6 resources, it's not really a playable double red card. So,
and you don't really have card draw for Papanoida, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yep, you don't have any card draw. You're missing some of the other fun stuff because your goal is to do indirect versus draw cards, right? So.
Right.
So I think the Boba kind of made a little bit of sense just because it gave you that extra 4 health. You didn't need a lot of the yellow cards to close out the game, though there could be an argument in there that said maybe green is worth it and getting rid of that 4 health, because there is a couple of green aspect things that are worth splashing, such as like I don't know, we just the crazy
MC-30.
power, MC-30s. Like there's just a couple of ships, and then the Dorian gunship? That was always a good ship that we used to run too. And so like there might be a discussion point of kind of moving back, because Boba moved away from directly only space, and now they use ground units. There could be a discussion about going back to green. I do have a green one. If you're in our Patreon, you can see my green list that I haven't updated in a while, but I have played the green list quite a bit, and I do enjoy it. I just, when you weigh out which cards, would you rather play a C-3PO, or not C-3PO, villain, the 000, or would you rather play, like, the MC-30, like, which are you going to play? Like, if... that's kind of the bigger question, and I don't know. So I think some of that will...
I was more partial to blue. I think that's more interesting. The No Glories and the Kadams are pretty cool. Arrestor cruisers.
Yeah, and it is, and the blue probably has like the next best, because the red is more of your aggro version, and then the blue is kind of like that tempo control or tempo mid-range type thing, because you have a little bit more endgame than you do in the red. So...
do you know what other Boba players hate? Being frozen by an Arresto cruiser.
Yeah, that's very true. Nobody likes that ship when
I
it
love that
comes
thing.
down.
Yeah, I love arresters.
Yeah. No, and I do agree with you, JJ. Like, I think that's a good ship. But okay, so now that we've moved through that tangent piece, what I'm trying to get at is, so everybody has played Lando in a different thing. So we've seen Lando with a multi-aspect base, where people are splashing other colors. We've seen Lando in blue. We've seen Lando in green. We have not technically seen Lando in green force, but
We have.
I mean,
Swoodad did one.
yeah, Swoodad
as
did
well,
one, and Alex,
in addition to mine.
yeah, and Alex has one. So like there is a force centralized one, but it's not like seen like any big play. Like I think this weekend that would be the thing, is like, hey Alex, take that, if you weren't judging, take that damn Lando green force and play that thing, and see if we can start beating all the Lando, Lake counties.
Oh, I played Big Qui-Gon, baby. That'll beat those two.
But so my question to the group is why, like, they didn't really explain it when Tyler gave the interview. Like, what is the real big thing with this? Like, Lake County, is the 4 health really just it? Or is it because you cut all the other color cards, so now Faith in Your Friends hits every single time?
I mean, Faith in Your Friends hit a majority of the time anyways.
Yeah.
In most decks, like, you only needed, like 65% of your deck to be yellow for that to work. But, I mean, I don't know. It's 4 extra health, I guess.
I guess it depends on where we set our baseline. Like, are we looking at most decks running 30 health bases, 27 health bases, 28? Because the more that fluctuate, the stronger those higher health points get. Everybody was ranting and raving about Data Vault because it gave you the 3 extra health, but it did have that downside that a lot of people didn't really care about. Okay, well, now we'll take away...
Luke's feeling that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But if you take away that, like, debuff of, okay, you don't have to do the things, yellow is just good by itself in a deck that makes a lot of credits, and you can counter the means of, if there is anything you want to splash, you just play it out of aspect regularly. That does just become strong and a really good pairing. But Lake Country just seems really good overall. I could do Sebulba Lake Country and just do all red, and that seems like it would still be a fine deck that could work.
Mm.
I'm gonna build that now. Okay.
The only thing that, like, Lando, the thing that, like, Lando Lake County does lack is like the really big endgame pieces, right? You have Mando, you have Liberty, you have Qui-Gon. That's fine, but you do lose out on like Bo-Katan, or like Rey, or any giant green unit, any giant blue unit. And you miss playing like Captain Rex super early, right?
Yeah, you don't have Captain Rex, you don't have Bo, you don't. You have Liberty and Mando, but whatever. Like, you always had those. I don't know. Like, I guess maybe we should try to talk Crispy into coming on to understand if this was just a meta call, or if this is actually like some big deck that people should be really scared of. Because, like, what always happens? People are just going to start teching against it, right? That's what's going to happen. Like, we know it loses to Piat Blue pretty aggressively, right? I think to some extent it should lose to that OB 28 health force space. I'm not 100% sure it should always lose, but that OB list feels like it has a little bit of an edge into it, especially if it gets to the late game and can stop, what you need it to do. Cutting credit hate, I don't know what to say. That's not like that. Credit hate should just have been main deck for Lando. I'm Chewy. I don't know what to tell people, about that, And if you're running, you can literally run credit hate in that OB force deck if you want.
Like Tamarin.
You can run Tamarin main deck. Yep. You can also run those convex security things too.
The 3/4 kill one for 3.
You have like Galen's too. You can side in. Most of them have it on the side.
So, all right. So I guess let's actually move in and dive into some of the statistics, right? So we could talk about a little bit about like what showed up to play today. And yesterday, and then we could kind of talk a little bit about some of the lists if we want. I did not put a bunch of like other lists in there. I figured we had enough to cover tonight. I didn't want to like go super deep, but I figure if the guys want to find some lists out of there that they want to talk about for next week, that's fine. What I will say is this, the top 8. So essentially this was captured from McClunky Gaming, who streamed the thing. This was essentially the top 8 list, with their bases. So as you can see, Obi was the highest, most represented base, and leader, followed by Boba Fett, Chewbacca, Lando, Yularen, Tobias, Piat, and Lando again. But if we actually look at the statistics for like day one, right? So let's look at total decks, just leaders. That's all I care about. Like, let's actually look at the total leaders. We have Obi-Wan, etching out Boba Fett by one list. Yeah. That was different. And then that's followed by Lando, Talzin, Chewie, Yularen, right? Again, down the line, Piat thing, stuff like that. So I think what's interesting here, right, is we could kind of see what was played. There is some Avar Force decks in there. I'm guessing all those Avars are yellow. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like those should be.
I wouldn't rule out the bot. No, I believe there's like an Avar blue that was on stream.
Okay, I guess I didn't see that one, and so it must not have done well after a while.
It's a very grindy deck.
So it's like your Satine deck.
Not as grindy. That's Satine deck.
That is, you get bored after a while.
No, I love it. Slight tangent though. When I had to play against that Satine deck in my Star Showdown, I was playing, gift box Qui-Gon because he's 4 times the size of regular cards, and that's funny to me. And I got a top loader for him now. I had to play Max Rebo on the essentially the last turn of the game because we both had 1 card in our deck, and I was ahead on damage, so we just overdrew our deck by 3.
That's awesome. I'm glad I didn't go.
It was great. I had to play my own Lama Su deck on the final table. It was great.
That's great.
If you look at day 2 decks, you can see Lando obviously is the highest, followed by Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, Talzin, Piat, Yularen, and Chewie. So you can see, we what we're gonna do now is you can kind of see like the difference in what made it versus what didn't, right? So we see, Yularen gets pushed down quite a bit, and Chewbacca gets pushed down quite a bit, but Qui-Gon jumps up. So Qui-Gon, and if you watched my video from last week, the small segment I did was essentially talking about how I think Qui-Gon was a sleeper deck. Not that I would personally play it, but that I felt it was a sleeper deck because of what it could do and its win rates against these other decks. And so that's going to actually be the bigger question is like next week for the PQs, everybody's going to jump on this Lando Lake County. What's going to counter this? We're not going to have a ton of statistics for it. People didn't know how to play against it. I still think people misplay against Lando quite a bit, no matter what they do. You have to be very careful when you race base versus control their board, and understanding, when they can refill versus when they can't. And I think the Qui-Gon being able to bounce and tap a bunch of different things over and over and over again, plus not have to play a lot of cards because you're just like picking your card back up. He's just like, oh, I played in Ahsoka, I get it back, and I can do the same thing all over again if I want to.
Honestly, I'm not terribly scared about Lando like country with my Qui-Gon decks.
Yeah.
But I've yet to play the matchup right, so maybe there's something there that I'm missing, but like it seems like a deck that I can contain decently well.
So as you can see, the conversion rate went up, and I think, the Qui-Gon is, I'm going to point out the Qui-Gon because I think that's huge that it jumped that far up into the list for it. So now if we have top 8 standings, right? Our top 8 standings, you could see there was a Lando and Oracing. So this is after day 1. So I want to make sure that this is very pointed. This is after day 1. This is at the end of day 1. These were the top 8 decks that you could see going into it. So you had a Lando, an Oracing, another Lando, another Lando, another Lando, 2 Obies, and a Piat. So I will say out of all of these, Andrew, Carlos, Crispy, and Nashua all made top 8 officially, I believe, in the end. So about half of these people made top 8 after the end of day 2. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So now let's look at actual day 1 representation versus, day 2 conversion rates, right? So Obi Force was represented 15% and then went up to 20%, right? So Obi is overperforming. Boba Fett overperformed, but not by much. Chewbacca, Yularen, all those are the same. But the Lando blue, that was hilarious, went down in representation, as well as Tobias Beckett. But then Piat did really well. And you would think that if Landos were doing well, Piats wouldn't do well. Or Landos wouldn't do well if Piats were doing well, but they must have just missed each other enough.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big, ugly, colored one is Lando Lake County. It was 3% of the meta and jumped up to 11%. So if we look at the actual conversion rates, you can see the conversion rates for Chewbacca actually was quite high. Actual percentage conversion. Same with Yularen and same with Piat in obviously Lando Lake County, because I guess we're going to have to call that out separately now. But you can see that the conversion rates for the Bobas and the Obies seem to be pretty steady. So those decks are known in the meta. But what do you guys think when you see these top 8 deck statistics compared next to each other? Does anything outside of the Lando Lake County stand out to you?
I've always liked Piat Blue.
Yeah.
That was my preferred color with him over red, honestly.
I mean, honestly, in blue, you have some of the best capital ships that you can release with Piet, and then adding on some of the credit generation they can in blue as well also helps in getting some of those big ones out there as well. So I'm actually really surprised that Piet did as well as it did, and yeah, it's good to see Piet.
It's nice people remembering that the Corvus exists.
Yeah.
The CR90, where they're just oh, ships that heal that people can't do anything about because they're huge and junky that I get to drop early.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always liked Piat Blue. I'm glad that it did well, and I think it's positioned pretty well. Again, because the healing and just big dudes, Arrestor Cruisers are huge. Condemn's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Craving power. So I appreciate that.
When we're talking about OB Force, are we also including the Temple, or are we just doing the 28 health?
I don't know how that statistics was brought up there. It just says Vigilance Force, which if they're so granular about everything else, I'm really annoyed that it's not split between Virgins and 28.
Yeah, I think if we go back to the SWU base, if you want to, we could go to the SWU base and actually just look at it together. But this came from McClunky. I think this was just their graphic they put together.
Yeah. I saw that, and looking at a lot of the stuff in the top 64, it does appear to just be the 28 health base. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of weird that they don't specify that.
Yeah. And I think, the question is how many of the Virgin's temples even showed up, right?
Yeah,
That would
I would think-
actually be the question.
I see one Virgin's Temple in the top 20 or top 64. Sorry, they came in 18th, so they did pretty well with it. But also there's 14th, 15th, and 16th was also 28 health. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm assuming then that would probably just be the 28 health base. But I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah, because a majority of them that I saw were, like I said, there's one Virgin's Temple. So
That makes sense. Like, I'm kind of surprised that however many people switched up on Virgin's Temple compared to what I was seeing online and statistics wise. It seemed like it was crazy outperforming the 28 health base. Then, like, a week or two before the thing, everybody's dropping this groundbreaking information that the 28 health base is better.
the 28th health base has always been better.
I
Yes.
know.
So Virgin's Temple, so overall, they had 6 of those lists that was on day 1. So 6 people ran that. That was it.
I think like with Boba and stuff, you just end up not having enough health on base,
Yeah.
which is why my assumption is why they went up to 28.
Yep.
But also being able to trigger the Force multiple times is really good if you have things like Yoda and Yoda's lightsaber and everything there to get it more and then also get an experience token.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And it looks like the one list that Alex found in day 2, that's the only list that made day 2, period. So 1 out of 6 made day 2.
Right.
Now, that again, that could be because the players that normally play it switch to the 20 health base. It is a slightly different deck, though. Like, it is slightly different than the other
Yeah, it's going to be naturally different because like the 25 health, you don't necessarily need just a whole ton of low cost Force units. You just need higher health stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so you can have like Mina and stuff and like get the card draw and the restore and have like Rex and other things or however they're running it,
Mhm.
All right, so let's move on to our top 8. As you can see, first I want to shout out Crispy for making 3rd. Congratulations, Crispy. Good job. He was a X-Wing buddy of ours. Been on the show multiple times, actually, over the last 2 years. Even in SWU. Like, he used to come on. I don't know. We like
talked about Fennec. He was on the Fennec episode.
Yep, that's right.
Usually he's on these weird, crazy decks, but I guess because it's Atlanta, he didn't want to do that. So, which makes sense. That's fine. So as you can see, there was 3 Lando Lake counties, 3 Hobie Blue Force based ones, 1 Chewbacca, and 1 Luke Datavault. Which, by the way, I was actually rooting. Ironically enough, I was rooting for the Luke Datavault to win the whole thing. He was the guy I wanted to win the whole thing, just so that Luke showcase price would just go like through the roof. Even though it's so like ugly, it's like an ugly Michael Jackson. That's I just don't care what anybody says. That's what it freaking looks like. It's like if a white person tried to animate a white version of Michael Jackson, that's what that looked like. Like, it was awful.
That's very specific.
It was awful. It's awful. I'm sorry. I hate that.
Just because his face kind of looks like the mid-melting scene from like Raiders of the Lost Ark doesn't mean it's that bad. It is my second least favorite showcase, though.
What is your least favorite showcase?
Amar, by far.
Oh my god! All right,
You
we're
already
getting
knew
we're kicking Alex off the podcast. No, I did not. I did not think that was your least favorite.
It's just Princess Zelda from Wind Waker.
I don't care.
That's all it is. It's terrible.
Well, that's a great game. So
I agree, but I don't want it looking like that.
Oh man! Shout out to my boy Relic. I didn't realize he got top 5. He's like one of the 3 teenagers I know that play this game. I'm so proud of that guy.
It's no Nathan Idy.
Yeah.
all right, let's not talk about that guy. So as you can see, the Landos and the Obies, which is kind of what I predicted. I didn't predict the Lando, but I predicted the Obi would be like the thing that people were running because it countered so heavily some of the main, like the Boba decks and the Chewie decks. That was like a big thing for it. So anything about the top 8 that you guys want to talk? I mean, I noticed there's a lack of control. So there you go. That's very sad.
It's because we didn't put our episode out in time. That's why.
Yeah, they forgot to listen to them. We
Damn it.
didn't put it out, so they couldn't listen to us. So they couldn't bring it in.
Because I've been playing a lot of Aura Data Vault, and I'll tell you if this is like kind of the future for it, like, or if it seems to feel like it might be like really good.
Do you still run no disintegrations in the deck? Out of curiosity.
Yes.
In my green deck or my red
Yes.
one?
In your Aura Data Vault.
I do not, but that's a good idea. I never thought about putting that in there. It's probably worth the 5 costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, it's just another no glory-ish.
Yeah, didn't think about that. I actually, locals, I actually built my red and my green together because they have so many crossover cards. What I really wanted to do was build Deidre, but I didn't. The Deidre crossover with the auras were not as much. So then I was like, this is too complicated. I'm just going to build the 2 auras, and then literally all I have to do is pull the green cards and swap the greens and the blues around. And like, other than that, like almost identical. They're very close to each other. But that's a good idea. Maybe I will test out the no disintegration in there, in the green. That
Seems like a solid option.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, it's nice seeing like Aura just show up, or just some form of control.
Yeah, because this Lando Lake County, I kind of actually genuinely thought was going to be like some sort of a like mid-range control deck, and it's not. It's
No, it seems much more like an aggro-leaning mid-range.
it's that tempo-ish, but it doesn't care to control your units until like mid-game.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And it uses, like, I don't know. It's the reason I feel it did so well is because of the surprise factor, A, and then B, because of the fact of ramp is so good and people don't particularly work towards stopping the ramping piece of it, I guess is the nicest way to say it. And like, we could talk, like, Sam ran Han 1, right? Why was Han 1 good? Well, Han 1 could ramp and then sometimes twice in a churn to be able to play these huge units 2 turns ahead. Well, that's what all Lando's doing, is the exact same thing. The difference is we have more interaction with credits, kind of, than we did with Han 1 not having a hand together. Actually, I don't know why you're not playing Lando, Sam, because like this seems like this is right up your alley. Like, you get to have a whole hand of cards.
Yeah, it is. I've played Lando Blue a little bit. I haven't tested Lando Lake Country, but I just looked over the list a little bit ago, like probably for the first time 15 minutes ago. And Sebulba just, I don't know what it is. It's nothing like my usual at all, but it's just so much fun.
Because the next question is why are they running Lando Lake Country or the Lake County when they could be running Lando Data Vault, and then you never get to mill yourself out? You literally can filter to the cards you need. You're just dumping cards out of your deck.
Turn into a control deck, just milling your opponent every turn, you know?
Well, I mean, I would like that, but, we don't have Vigilance anymore. If we still had Vigilance, we don't have Vigilance, though. If we had Vigilance in the game still, I would be running Lando Blue.
Well, you
with
could
Vigilance.
just run... Yeah, you just run Lando Colossus, fill it with a bunch of, like, your extra 10 cards are, like, no glory.
What do you mean extra 10?
You don't get any extra cards with
Oh,
Colossus.
yeah. But, I mean, yeah, you just go higher, playing a bunch of villainy control, and then just make it this huge late-game all-control deck. That sounds like so much fun. I'm building that later.
With Vigilance?
Yeah, well, no.
What, for Eternal?
No, but I'm going to make a Lando Mill deck that is just hard control.
Okay.
It's already been done. My local did it. It's not good.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was I don't think without some of the control cards that we don't have anymore, I don't think it works. So, anyway, let's go back to actually talking about this. So, is there anything else like about the top 8 like to discuss? Do we feel, based on the fact that this Lake County is mainly because of the surprise factor? I mean, I won't discount, like, those are good players. I mean, that's Andrew Cox and Crispy and Tyler, and all of them have had very good success playing other cards. And same with that Overly 28, that gentleman. I can't remember his real name, but he is topped a lot of other things too. And I think that's the guy Eric has played online with quite a bit.
Mhm. Oh, no, I mean, this is a good top. I don't know. I'm gonna say top 4 leaders, just because I don't know if. All right, well, let me pose this: does Lando, from you guys' watching that, was it that detrimentally affected by credit hate?
I didn't really see too much credit hate into it, but
Okay.
I wasn't able to watch the entirety of the stream.
No, it felt like the credit hate came game 2 for every one of them, right? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like people were main decking credit hate in the same way that I thought. Like, I was running Arvel's main deck in my Chewy. It's the same way as I was running Outer Rim Constable's main deck, and it felt like some of these people were not doing that.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to how things could have changed if instead of playing different cards like what we'll talk about in the OB list later, if they would have had some sort of main decked credit hate, that shifts everything for the top 8. But that's really the only thing that I can see going differently. Like, I don't think Chewy wins against Blue Green Hero incredibly easy, or this Lando, I make big things fast with a big like health buffer, or Luke isn't gonna stall, or it will stall out against these decks if they can control. If you could slap a Liberty in front of a Luke like before his flip, that's backbreaking. But you only have to have 2 credits to do that, and I don't think Luke's main decking any credit hate because there isn't a reason for him to.
Yeah, exactly.
So he just seems like he's kind of at a disadvantage when he sits down against a Lando in general, whether it be Lake Country, 27, 33, anything.
That's why you shove Luke in a grounded blue leader.
Oh my god.
Tell Liberty that doesn't matter
I've seen them do that
for
by the
one
way.
swing, and they
Yeah.
exhaust you and remove your experience. But
Oh god.
gotta have your outs.
True.
I mean, I put like JTL Lando in blue leader to make a 10-10 grounded sentinel, which is really funny, and a shield because Lando's ability.
Sweet.
I used to be able to shove them in reinforcement walkers, but I can't do that anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, that was great. Do we want to get into the lists now?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Before we get into the list, I will apologize. I forgot. I did a ranking just so everybody, you could see visually where each different leader, the highest, came out at. And so, like, Telsin and Piat both hit 9 and 10, right? So that's pretty good, like, for overall. If you look at Vader hit 19. Like, that's crazy to me. I would not have expected in any way,
Yeah, me
shape, or
neither.
form.
Vader won a PQ over the weekend.
It did.
In France.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aura was 20th. We had Yularen at 27th, and 33rd was Vel. So as you can see, I think there was enough hate towards Boba that pushed some of these other lists higher, right? And some of these lists that just naturally are like can decimate Boba's, for what it's worth. But if you want to know where your favorite leaders, you could look it up in Melee, or these are all the main leaders that have seen success in PQs. And that's why I kind of wanted to highlight it so you could kind of see, like technically there's a Lando, there's a gentleman, I can't remember his name, Phoenix. I can't remember his actual real name, but he used to play for Arrowbrook Gaming Destiny back in the day as a competitive player. He's a really nice guy. Every time I go to like a big tournament, I get to see him. But he came in, I think, 11th. I think it was 11th or 12th, and he had Lando Dadival. So like he had Lando as well, but I didn't throw that out there. So, all right. So the top list was Lando, Lake County. I believe there was 0 differences between any of the lists in the top cut. I think they were all identical.
It would make sense being all on the same team.
Yeah. So, who wants to cover this list?
I can do it.
All
right, Lando Lake Country. You got Triple Bale. Triple Canyon Frontrunner. That's a 3-2 on attack. If nothing else is attacked, give something -2. -0. You got Triple the N1. Triple Master Codebreaker. He reduces cost for gambits, and we'll get into that. Triple Faith in Your Friend, which is a gambit. Triple Axe for Kits, also a gambit. You got double the Stolen Hauler, triple Aggressive Negotiations, just paying 5 for it. Double Beguile, triple Bix, that is the when played on attack, discard a card from your hand and get a credit. So easier credit token generation, I guess, if you need it. Triple Blue Ace, triple Han Solo Pilot, double Lightmaker, triple Rose. Still love that card. Triple Watch This, the other semi-playable card out of Battle of Hoth. That is return a non-leader unit that costs 6 or less to its owner's hand and then exhaust all the enemy units in that arena. Yeah, triple 7-cost Qui-Gon, triple Liberty, and double Mandalorian. In the side, you got double Anakin's Pod Racer. Don't know. Double Gorn, 1 Commandeer, double of the Guild Ambush team. That's the 5/4 ambush for 5. And then double Depa and a 3rd Mandalorian. Hurts me that Depa's not main decked, but I get it. I love Depa. So good.
Yeah, I almost like Depa over Qui-Gon, to be honest with you.
Mm,
No?
no, Qui-Gon, that 7 attack is just so big. Honestly. That's how you kill other Landos. Just drop a Qui-Gon on them.
I guess
And
that
he
would
lives.
make sense. Like if you have initiative and you have the credit already, you just flip, make the 3. Even if they kill one of yours, like you don't really care all too much. You're just waiting for their deploy.
Yep. The 7 attack does so much work.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the new Big Boogeyman. A little bit, sure, I get it. A little bit of, ooh, okay. I mean, Bix, being a 4 or 5 for 4 is not the worst for just credit stuff. Bail Organa also makes spies. It can output a lot of units.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the. I'm personally not sold on the bail, but that's just me. I mean, I guess I get it because like, but you the only card draw you have here is the faith in your friends, right? So
Yeah, it does. That and Bix do work against aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, and so like if you're gonna splash that, and I've been told before, if you play a card out of aspect and there's that much played, it should be banned. And I think in this deck it's hilarious because like you could also run commence in this deck too, and that would also be really good if you just need to get in that last little bit of damage.
The Canyon front runner is one that like kind of doesn't really make too much sense to me. It just relies so much on having initiative, right? Like, and if you don't have initiative, then what are you doing? I guess forcing your opponent to attack first if they care.
Yeah, which is kind of silly because most of the time the correct play, if you don't have a sentinel to put down, is to attack first. Like that is the correct play. Like it is probably more so against the sentinel attacks, right? Like the way I saw them use it on stream was like he would get it down, and then he would use it like it would force you to attack first before you could play a sentinel, and so then that would be fine. And then if they played a sentinel, you just dirtle around, claim, and then you attack the sentinel with that to begin with. Like that's what he was doing to that turret unit in the finals.
It just seems a lot of actions there.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to think of like what else in just like mono yellow or yellow heroism you'd play in place of Bale. And I guess there's not really not much.
Yeah, it's not.
More of like a 2/4, and occasionally you get a spy out of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very apparent what your turn 1, 2, and 3 is. Like, you want to be doing Codebreaker into Double Faith into Bix, because that right there, you just win. Force or having 6 units on the board, a credit that you haven't even had to generate by yourself, and then if you want to play the Axe Forgets for 1, like that's just stupid good later down the road.
So I would challenge that though. Like your opponent can't be doing. What is your opponent doing when you're playing like these Sentinel or these spies? Are they just gonna go to base and like, well, you can have 6 spies, like?
But how are they going to be able to counter 6? Because think about it. Turn 1, you're playing a 1/4. They're not going to care about that. Even if you show them and you pull that faith in your friends, they're waiting and they're holding your units, yes, to go into one of your spies later. are maybe they have double 1-drops, which none of the decks that are in the top that I'm seeing are. Then they're playing something with 2 attack power, 3 attack power, doesn't matter. Then you go into Faith once, you're getting all of this card draw that you then later save for Bix, which you can use for her credit generation. And then you're getting 4 spies right there on top of the 1/4 you already have, and you already know you're going to play Bix after that. They can take one of your spies and bring you down to having just 4 units that turn, but you're most likely still going to have 5 after that. And you're probably going to have initiative because you just don't swing the Codebreaker. I mean, I guess it depends on where that lines up, but still, like, that's just a stupid good line right there. And then you just have a hand, so if you want to aggressive later down the line, cool, you just tutored and did all that stuff later so you can grab it with the already decently sized hand you have.
I don't know. I think I just play Commence the Procession or whatever it's called and kill both of your fucking spies and then
collateral damage.
There you go, collateral damage. Whatever. You all knew what I was talking about. I'm just gonna play that. Like I'm gonna play BT1, and then you're gonna have to claim. And if you don't bounce my BT1, by the time you play your spies, I kill a spy, I throw a damage on another spy. What are you you claim, you play it again, or you play your second one, and then then I have initiative. I kill a second one, dump BT1, kill a third one. Now I've got a healthy BT1, and you're down to 1 spy. Like I do agree, like not every deck can handle some of that type of stuff, right? But I can also throw a turret down, and what is your spies doing? I've got 3 force units that just are waiting to swinging into base and buffing my turret. You don't have anything in here. You have to get rid of the turret. That's the only thing you can do. Yeah, your Beguiles, right? And that's fine, but that's not a Gambit card either. So you are relying on picking it up.
True.
Like, I will give them props. The Axe Forgets. I love that card. I used to run that in Chewy. So people thought I was crazy for doing it, and here it is showing up in all yellow,
Yeah, in a completely different situation. Completely unrelated to like a Chewbacca deck, yes.
I'm just saying,
I don't think it's good in Chewbacca.
It's not. I cut it, but I mean, I'm down to 2 Beguiles anyway, so like it doesn't further. I'll tell you what though, being able to play that and then just swing it a couple of times did work out very well for me in Chewbacca because it always allowed me to get to Rose. But I also wasn't doing the kill something, flip Chewy, attack base, kill something again, type thing. I don't know. I think, I understand how this deck can win. I just, I don't.
The 5 health space units are kind of annoying.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
I feel like this fits more like the whole Rose thing is hilarious because again, I was on Rose and Chewy and people thought it was silly, but like it works very well in this deck too. And they don't have a lot of ununique, people in it. Like Canyon Runners, N1s, Stolen AT Howers, and then spies.
All your spies, yeah.
And that's it. So, it's the same thing. I wonder if you could switch Chewy around to be a mainly yellow deck and play Faith in Your Friends.
You probably could.
I think that could be done.
I wonder if that would be good.
Also, if you're going against this like Lando Lake country, don't play the Stolen Hauler because they do have Axe Forgets. They can just put that back in their hand. Like, I would assume that's more of what it's used for. Other than like just bouncing little things, you can just put your Stolen Hauler back in the hand.
I mean, I saw him use it.
Codebreaker.
I saw him use it on something like to basically like buff up somebody buffed up one of their turn 1 units and they played it on turn 3.
It is situationally useful. I just also like don't play the Hauler against them because it just Axe Forgets it back to hand. People don't realize that like it's any, unlike Beguile where it's enemy.
Yeah. And that's why it's actually technically better than Beguile because like in that instance for lower cost unit because Beguile
I would assume they're running 3 in addition to Master Codebreaker reducing the cost.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the next deck. We have the Obi Blue Force that came in second. I will say that out of all 3 of them, they were slightly different, but not enough that I think it matters. So, I mean, if Alex wants to look at the differences and tell us, great. But Sam, why don't you tell us about this deck?
Yeah. So Obi 28 health force is 3 Gungi, 3 Mina, 3 Secretive Sage, 3 Yaddle, 3 Yoda's Lightsaber, 3 Blue Leader, 3 Ezra, 3 Maz, 3 Obi, 5, 3 Constructed Lightsabers, 3 Chirrut, 3 Eye Warriors, 3 Protect the Pod, 3 Shatterpoint, 2 Rex, 3 Kelleran, 3 Yoda. Obviously, I'm sure that changes between all the different lists and stuff, but this is just the shell. 1 Heirloom Lightsaber, 2... Oh my god, the text is too small
Kill
for me to
switch.
remember. Kill Switch. 2 Galen, 2... Again, back me up here.
Tamarin.
2 Tyranotech,
Tyrantech.
1 Anakin. So it's just like your standard Obi Green. This is pretty similar to what I was running back in set 5, just without, like, obviously the Rex and the stuff that wasn't out yet. But most of
Yeah.
it was.
It looks like the 5th place Obi-Wan doesn't have Rex, but instead it has the new 4-drop Ezra.
Okay. Because that gives you, that's the one that gives the raid or whatever.
Well, it has raid 1 and it like heals your unit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you could buff a unit and then heal it when you play Ezra
Or
if
like
people
your
are
chariot.
attacking it. Yeah.
Trying to heal it, right? But the one in 6th had Captain Rex and not the Ezra, so make your guess on which one is generally better.
And I think the Terraneka guys in the thing, that's hilarious. Like, is that just like tech for Telzin? Is that what that is? Is like Telzin
Or
tech?
Obi.
Or
Like
other
any
Obi
Force
techs?
unit, yeah.
Okay.
You see it crop up here and there in sideboards recently.
It's hilarious because I liked that card when it first came out too, and then like we never ran it into anything, and I was like, I don't know,
You
this
need
feels
a
like a good
critical
one.
mass of Force units.
And then the other card, what was the Nameless? Nobody likes to play the Nameless card, but like I feel
Nameless
like
Terror. Yeah.
Nameless Terror, like JJ and I play it just because I like High Republic, and like that's a big part of High Republic, and it's actually really sad that like there's no interaction between Marchion Row and the Nameless, like there's none in this
Yeah.
game, but that's what the whole damn series is about. So like it's so stupid.
Yeah, well, the Nameless Terror is a villainy card, blue
Yeah.
villainy. So
Yeah, the funniest thing is like for a while I actually put it into like my Kylo decks, but I never got paired against like Force decks, so it was like useless at that point, and it became a side card which I just never really main decked. So yeah.
I will say I feel this deck is a little light on space, but I guess like you have your shatter points to protect the pods to kills your space units, so it's not the end of the world. And this deck can race.
you got a lot of restore.
Yes.
Would you consider substituting Rex for Bo-Katan?
I would not.
I don't think you need it.
Mhm.
At most, Bo-Katan inside. But
Yeah, because if you're playing against like a controlling style deck that wants to kill your big units, then you want to drop smaller units at your end game, because then they can't kill them all, and you could just ping the rest of the damage you need. And if they're a control deck, you're probably pinging a lot of the damage to begin with too. So, and then you need to be able to get that shatter point off to get rid of their big ships, because that's, I'm assuming, the only like I don't know what you're playing that's like really big outside of bow or big ships, in other decks, but
yeah, and plus like Obi-Wan with like a constructed lightsaber and like Protect the Pod does 9 damage on turn 5,
Yes.
right at 6 resources. That's quite a bit. Like Protect the Pod's such a great card.
Yeah.
And your higher end units just really support it to being able to just wipe out anything.
yeah, the Yoda's lightsaber tech too is hilarious, because like you play that, you can burn that force token, and then you swing in and get it right back, right? So like it's
And you
essential. It's well, so it's essentially like an idiot warrior or an itinerant warrior, right? Like it's just that it's like, here, let me give you an upgrade that does the same thing. And like the problem is even if you run upgrade hate, they've already healed. So that was like I basically paid 2 to heal 3.
Yeah, and it turns Yaddle into a 5/5 and then a 6/6 with Obi's experience.
Yeah. Now it is sad though, because you could play repair for 1 cost, heal for 3, but that's okay.
Yep. People forget that's a card.
Like you could do the same thing. Like I know you don't get the upgrade, but
I think it's the stats that are the nice thing about that, because it allows you to go a little bit faster.
yeah. Other than that, this feels like a very standard Obi type list. Like this feels almost identical to like what Wu was running the other day. So
I'm a little bit surprised they don't have like a Lost and Forgotten somewhere in the side. But so be it.
Yeah, because to me, I would actually cut that heirloom lightsaber and the Anakin for 2 Lost and Forgottens on the side. Or
Yeah,
I would.
don't know what a one-off heirloom lightsaber and a one-off Anakin's really doing for your deck.
The Anakin, I guess, could be like good counterattack against your Talzins, but that's like it. Like, I don't know. There's not a lot
just have
else.
one, and that's my issue with it. Although, speaking of one, I'd probably cut like a constructed lightsaber, a Yoda's lightsaber, and shove a Galen main deck just to have one.
Nope.
Or just run 51 cards, which would be my preference. But if you're going to stick to 50,
Yeah, and I think the Galen is extremely important, right? Like, I don't know why that's not being ran main deck. And that was like, I think Wu kind of commented on that too. Like he said, because he was also running Obi Blue Force. And that was the thing, is like, if we had Galens, like with all the Landos running around, it's like, well, I don't know why people thought Lando went away, but like whatever, like
you can call credits, you can call like their force base if they're playing force units.
Yep.
You can call anything that's just going to screw you immediately. It's really solid.
And this deck has 8 Sentinels main deck, so like, I mean, and all of them can have constructed lightsabers or Yoda's lightsabers put on them. And you put a constructed lightsaber on Chirrut and see what happens. Nothing, right? Because it makes him
he gets more Sentinel.
But you now literally have, a 5/8 that's just sitting there that can negate 2 damage every single damn time. So, all right. The next one is the Chewie deck that made top 30. In Atlanta, or not top 30, top 8 in Atlanta.
Oh, it's still top 30, but
Yeah.
underselling it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm reading it incorrect for it. So this Chewie had 2 R2D2s, 3 commence, 3 hot shot maneuvers, 3 they hate that ship, 2 black ones, 3 emissary sheathopedes, 3 Karases, 3 N1s, 3 of the Red Squadron, 3 White Falcons, 3 Red 5s, 3 Sabines, 3 of the Solniti Haulers, 2 Aggressive Negotiation, 2 Beguile, 3 of the B-Wings, 1 Blue Ace, which is criminal. They don't have 2 in there. They should run 51 cards and have 2 in there, for Christ's sake. And 3 Han Solos and 2 Kit Fisto. So I'm going to sit there and I will take credit and say, whoever listened to our podcast, because I was harping on that card before, that card, if we're going to go to an upgrade meta, that needs to be in there.
It ruins my life when I emergency powers Axe Wolves.
Yep, I love it. The sideboard is 2 Outer Rims, 3 Arvals, the second Blue Ace, 2 Commandeers, and 2 Light Makers. So this is a decently standardized list. The big difference is the Kit Fisto's main deck. A lot of people were not on that. The R2s, everybody's gone back and forth on. I genuinely, I would love to be able to cut that Falcon and the R2s. But the Falcon is just, if you get Falcon and Han, I mean, it's 6 damage, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's so hard not to want that, but it's so greedy because they just shatter point it. Like, it's just shatter pointed.
The hotshot maneuvers at 3 of is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, because it works. It works with the Red Squadron Y Wings, Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And the Red 3 or Red 5. That's it.
Red 5s, right. Well, I guess Blue Ace as well. The one off, but like
if your Blue Ace lives long enough.
Right. It just seems a little bit
true, the black ones
out of place, but it is cheaper than like collateral damage, so
yeah, it's not extremely out of place. We had, like that that's in my deck too. I've been running Hotshot Maneuver for a while too. It's
2 damage.
Yeah, it's designed typically for your Red 5. It's really designed so you play the Red 5 on turn 2, do your swinging in, and then the next turn you're able to dump 2 cards essentially out of your resource row to do 4 damage plus Red 5 plus that you could take out up to 8 damage typically. Yeah. And so like it kills the turret. Like there you go. It's really designed to get rid of your turrets and your Obi-Wans. And or if they have that stupid blue 3-cost Sentinel that Aura likes to throw out, that thing sucks for Chewie to deal with too.
The droid laser turret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite play, honestly, is commence the festivities and dump the 2 resources to just kill the shield and then just bypass it. So, like, I don't even have to kill the damn thing. And then, the next turn, most of the time, people are just trying to kill your Chewie anyway. So, like, you just kind of out of luck with it. But I don't run the R2s. I run BD1s main deck just because I could throw a BD1 down, bypass it, they kill it, then I play the commence the festivities the next turn, and I just get past your Sentinel twice, and like you took an action to kill my BD1 that is never going to do anything. Also,
notably, no Ascension cable.
Yep.
Oh yeah, true.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, this deck specifically is opting for a few extra units over the Ascension cables. So I'm surprised it's not in the 60 though. Like I think, like I could see not running it main deck, like running it sideboard is fine. But like my main deck has 2 Arvel main deck and 2 Outer Rims main deck. Like I actually you have those specifically in there, over a couple of other stuff, just for the pure fact that like credit hate is such a bullshit. Like just dealing with credit hate is such a pain in the ass sometimes. Or that OB upgrade. So, but I don't know. Other than that, it's a pretty typical Chewie list. So I will say you should have a second Blue Ace. No questions asked. Like Blue Ace is extremely good to play with, even with they hate that ship. So
yeah, it's really good
because you can ready one of the TIE fighters that is already ready. And just kill something else.
Well, I mean, you can't ready it if they have exhausted things, but
sure. Usually, you're playing that at the beginning of the turn, though. So
yeah, I understand.
All right, the last list that I wanted to go over tonight is the Luke Data Vault top 8 from Atlanta. So, JJ, I think you're up.
Yep, absolutely. So, we got Luke in Mountain Lake County coming in here.
Data Vault.
He was in the top 100. So we got 3 copies of Crackshot Y-Wing, 3 Hotshot Maneuvers, making another appearance in this list here. 3 System Shocks, 3 Black Ones, 3 Contraband Starhoppers, 3 Jedi Starfighters, 3 copies of the Phoenix Squadron A-Wings, 3 copies of the Red Squadron Ys, 3 Air Superiorities, 3 Blue Leaders, 3 Red Fies, 3 Sabine Masterpieces, 3 copies of Aggressive Negotiations, 3 copies of Sudden Ferocities, 2 B-Wing Skirmishers, 2 Captain Typhos, 3 Orbiting K-Wings, 3 copies of the Resistance Blue Squadron, 3 Chewies, 3 Kit Fistos, and 3 Synth Kazes to fill out the list. And then on the sideboard, we got 3 Commencement Pacivities, 2 R2-D2s, 3 Igor Escort Fighters, 1 additional Typho, and 1 Ray as the one-off on the sideboard there. Really good. I always like including Synth Kaz in pilot decks, mainly because the turn that you deploy the pilot, the leader as a pilot onto a ship, you can immediately deploy Kaz, make them swing into the base, and if there's no Sentinel units in the way, that's a really, really big swing into your enemy base, and that could potentially be a kill shot, or at least send them, trying to mitigate that particular damage. I like adding Kaz for that reason, for these type of lists on there. Really, really solid. You have a good balance of different upgrades, and air superiority is also really, really good in this list, considering that you're going all space in here. And yeah, this is a really good version of Data Vault. I like it.
They need 3 Typhos. I don't know what to tell them. Why would you not run 3 Typhos main deck?
Yeah.
And why are you running Orbital E-Wings as a 2 of? Like, get rid of the B-Wing and run 3 of those. There you go. Just get rid of the B-Wing and run 3 of those and 3 Typhos. They cost the same. Like, if you want the Saboteur, just fucking run the Saboteur ship.
Well, it's also like another. I'm not a 3 cost thing for like tree, right? So I guess having more 4 cost stuff is nice.
My only thought for that is that it's just another vehicle for Luke to jump into if you don't have Kit Fisto out on the board when you deploy Luke. Mainly because if they happen to put a Sentinel out and you have that K-Wing available, you jump attack with Luke with Cinta and go right into base, and they can't stop you.
What I'm saying, JJ, is go all in on that or go all in on the B-Wings. I'm not saying
That's true.
like
Yeah,
I don't.
that's true.
To me, that's what I would do. Like I don't care if they want to run 3 of each of those. You probably don't, need 3 freaking Cintas. It's my guess.
I think they should run 4K wings all with TLT.
Well, you can't do that.
I think they should put "they hate that ship" and then just maximize their forecast output, because
I don't think they hate that ship in a Data Vault deck is worth it.
I mean, if you can get your hit rates up higher than not, I don't see why not. Like that's.
I just feel like if you don't draw it in the first 2 turns, it's kind of a dead card.
Yeah, but then I mean, dead cards are dead cards. Like you don't want to see a Sage on 8 resources either, but.
Yeah, but that's not quite the same, because at least like Sage just gives you like a body that's sticky and not like, oh, this card is actually useless.
I mean, it's the same thing for Hot Shot Maneuver. Your first turn play is Contraband, and then your second is, I don't know, Blue Leader. You draw into Hot Shot any later than 3 or 4 without having.
But Luke triggers Hot Shot Maneuver.
Yeah, but if you're pretty much closing with Luke, right? Like you really don't want to keep him out too long.
Yeah, but you're not closing on Luke's turn. That's the thing is if they control if you're having to be the control in that aspect, you're not going to have a ton of damage on base. So then when Luke comes out, it's 3 turns. He's a 3 turn clock is what he typically is. So if you cannot beat him in 3 turns, you lose. And so yes, Hot Shot Maneuver is 100% like if you don't have AN, carry Hot Shot Maneuver, because you could just you can wipe a 5 health unit off the fucking board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of showing Luke and Kid Fisto spray with double sudden ferocity and flip.
I am very much so too. I think it's hilarious.
Turn that clock way up. But it's a solid list. I'm still on team 30 health over Data Vault, but no one 30 health is doing anything at tournaments, so maybe I'm wrong. Until maybe next set when we get a little bit better earlier drop ships, I guess. Because the 2-3 vanilla is not really your game plan there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's move on. That's enough of all of that fun stuff. How about that? So that's your Atlanta analysis. Hopefully we didn't drag on too long for it. And now we're gonna start the clock because we get to let Sam present a deck tech. Sam pegged and pleaded me last week. He was like, Tanner, can I really do this? This is the best deck in the whole beta. People
Tanner,
really
I want
need
to
to be
expose
on
when I'm
this.
playing this upcoming PQ, please.
Yeah, yes, I want everybody to know how I'm playing this. So welcome, Sam, to our official deck tech for Sebulba Yellow multi-aspect base, because now I know that it is multi-aspect base because I couldn't remember at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, so it's a fairly okay deck, but we'll go through it. So Sebulba, Cantobite. I refuse to use the other yellow splash base. I just think this one's cooler.
But why? Can you tell us why? I want to know why. Just the artwork. Okay. All right.
Artwork. And that was the only hyperspace yellow base I think I still have. But all right, so we got 3 Screeching TIE Fighters, 3 Commence the Festivities, 3 Aura Sing, 3 BT-1, 3 Black Sun Patroller, 3 Interrogation Droid, 2 Outer Rim Constable, 2, which it should be 3 in the latest list of Triple O, 3 Arvel, 3 Sebulba's Pod, 3 Vault Scarus's Defender, 3 Aggressive Negotiations, 2 Beguile, 2 Collateral Damage, 3 Hold for Questioning, 3 Hana, 3 IG 88, 3 Shadow Stygian Prime, 2 Vader. And the sideboard has changed, but I'll go over what it says on here, and then I have my separate tab, which I'll just say it again after this one, so we have what it actually is. So in this picture, it's 3 Emergency Powers, 1 Outer Rim Constable, 2 Gorilla Soldier, 2 Celestian Stapper, and 2 Devastator. The real sideboard is 1 Outer Rim Constable, 1 Collateral Damage, 2 Gorilla, 2 Celestian Stappers, 3 Item Pilot, and 1 Vader Pilot.
Oh, you did finally have the item pilots.
That's
so good.
I definitely like that over Emergency.
Told you. It's great.
All right. So before we go too much farther, though, Sam. So what I want to do is let's talk a little bit about Sebulba. So you chose Sebulba, not because Sebulba is cool, because I don't genuinely think he's a super cool character in Star Wars. So
Not at all.
he's kind of annoying in the first movie. So
Not very wizard.
he's not very wizard, Harry. But so tell us. Okay, tell us what does Sebulba do, and why did you specifically choose Sebulba for this type of an aggro list?
So it's mostly based around his raid, and yes, Sebulba's pod racer is great. Mostly, it is a lot of Sebulba's pod racer. Like any and all upgrades you see in here, whether that be pilots, the emergency powers that I had in the other iteration, anything, all of that is getting stacked on Sebulba's pod racer. Because yes, you do the whole big flip turn of putting a raid on something, flipping out Sebulba, attacking with the pod racer since it stacks the raid, attacking with Sebulba, readying the pod racer with the raid, attacking again. And I've calculated up a way to get to 19 damage. I just don't remember which way that is now that I do it. And it's just like super crazy broken when you get it to actually all work and all fall into place. And it's a really fun and good deck. Main deck credit hate is so much fun. There's all of these different toolboxy things that I like for my decks. Like that's why I flocked so much to Han, was you can pivot so many different ways, whether you stall out or whether you're playing this as a win by resource 5 like deck. You can do both. Like I just was playing online a little bit earlier and I beat 2 Lando Lake countries and 9 resources. There's not a real reason and a good thing of why aggro decks are supposed to do that, but Sebulba can because he's just pumping that stuff up. And I love it.
So you're saying the reason to play Sebulba is because you get to activate the raid and you get the double tap of Sebulba's pod racer. Let's just say 2 to 3 times a game. Now I will tell you last week you played this list and then I played my what did I play against you? I played Slimore. I played my Slimore Data Vault against you, and I will say you didn't get you still won, but you didn't get the Sebulba's pod racer off very often. And so I want to kind of call out a point that I feel a lot of people are going to miss, because they're going to say, okay, well, the goal is to play this pod racer and do these things. Well, you can also make it feel like that's what you're going to do, and then pivot that plan to again, for example, you stick the ship in the sky, the Vault Scarus's thing in the sky, and now you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't ready it, but guess what? I've got this thing in the sky. Now you got to deal with this instead of this thing on the ground. And the next turn you could throw the thing on the ground. So that's what you did to me, is you threw that in the sky, claimed the next turn, played Sebulba's pod racer on the ground, activated it, and forced me to try to blow it up.
Yes.
You know what's really funny? Attaching a pilot to that pod racer.
Oh yeah, like that's exactly. If you emergency powers it, Iden pilot, Vader pilot, Mandalorian pilot, stupid good. Mandalorian pilot, which is not in this iteration because these other pilots are way better for being 3/3s, but just being able to do any of their abilities, like the Iden pilot in the side of giving a shield. Yeah, now you can't attack into it. Have control or don't. Like Aura is the antichrist for this deck. I'm just going to come out and say it before we get too far in. Like, if you sit down against an Aura, you can handshake there, you're done. Go sit at a different table. Like, you're done. But
which color Aura? How about that?
Oh, green. Like, I haven't done a whole lot of red testing, but I think in the 30 something for against Aura.
Yeah, I also can't imagine Aura Red having difficulties with this deck either.
Yeah.
So can I ask another question then? So if Iden pilot is so good, why is the Hanas in the main or the IGs in the main, and why not put Idens in the main? Because if the goal, if a lot of the deck revolves around either messing with your opponent, that you're going to play this pod racer and they have to kill it, why not be able to do the pod racer and the Iden? And then it's like if they try to kill that, then you have this Vault Scarus ship, you could put Iden in it, and then it's the same thing. Now it's got double shields. Again, you can still do crazy things to bounce and kill, blah 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 blah. But you still also at the same time, it feels like that's almost a better play to have Iden main deck for it, just because of the shield giving abilities. Like, for example, can you give the shield to a different unit, or do you have to give it to Iden?
No, Iden's just shielded
Okay.
when she comes in.
So it's not like you can give it to Sebulba or to the pod
Right,
racer without
it's-
dumping her in it.
You give the
Yeah.
shield to whatever she's piloting.
I mean, I guess that comes back to I would do that main deck, but it is way too powerful having these cards on flip. Honestly, if it came down to it, I would rather have. Well, these are the top 3 scenarios for this deck: an upgraded Pod Racer by flip, Hana by flip, IG-88 by flip, and those last 2 vary depending on which deck you're playing against. Because if you're playing against blue or any sort of reduction deck, IG you kind of want to save and you don't want to play as much versus Hana. Because if you go up against a Talzin and they just play Talzin's Assassins on you, you just cry a little bit. Because you've wasted not only your base, but also your 4 resource turn, which is a very, very big and necessary turn for us to just totally go out the window. But it's a fun deck and it's toolboxy. Like, I think it's more, you're looking at that in the range of, okay, when you sit down against Sebulba, how many times did you think I had Sebulba's Pod Racer? Probably always, because as soon as we did it, you Garinded and used Sebulba's Pod Racer right off the gate to try and get that out of there.
And
Well,
I
I
did.
had Resource 1 because I had figured you're going to do something. You're going to try and counter Sebulba's Pod Racer. Even if I play it multiple times, you're just going to kill it multiple times. So even if I play it, I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket, because you're going to deal with that every single time, knowing that, all right, you're just up to some stupid shenanigans doing this. But you can just turn this into a regular aggro style deck and cut the Pod Racer entirely, which obviously you're never going to do, but like, and it still performs and functions really well. I guess the reason for the splash came out of these cards. No one is going to really guess that you have, because they are going to guess you're running upgrades for the Pod Racer and anything like that, especially if that's out and they Galen, they're going to name a pilot, or they're going to name emergency powers, which has happened to me a bunch, and stuff like that. Whereas I just drop IG-88 and they're like, oh yeah, that card exists. But I just cut Urk.
And then they play Sabine, and you're really, really sad, like I did when I played against you. Tanner, actually, I think I have an interesting answer. The one I sent you, Sam, I didn't pilot main decked over the Hanas, I believe.
Mhm.
I believe the Hanas are really good into Boba now. And then the IGs are very, very good if you're going fast. So kind of by default,
Yes.
Iden kind of goes to the side, but also your starting ships that you would normally want to put Iden on aren't, like, the 2/2 shielded fine.
Mhm.
The Screeching Tie is great, but you're not getting the oomph that you would get like out of like a GAR ECL when you would put Iden pilot in there. This is your starting ships aren't super strong enough for that to reap a lot of benefits for playing on like turn 2.
Mhm.
So it ends up being a little bit slower if you're trying to put it on Valscarus's or like the Pod Racer. Although Pod Racer is an incredible target for Iden. It just ends up being a little bit too slow for what you're trying to do. You don't go wide enough, and then your opponent is able to control you a little bit more.
No, I
If that
mean,
makes any sense.
great.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the actual deck. So you have the Screeching Ties in here, which is your only 1-drops. Are you playing? You're not playing those against Aura, because I don't know. I play Aura and people drop 1 health things and you just kind of look at them and you're like, do you know what I'm going to do? Do you not do? And then you do the thing and then they do it again the next turn and you go, do you just not have anything that has more health than 1? Like who thought
Just
that
resource
was
it.
Yeah,
if I play enough 1 health units, you will not be able to kill them all on 1 turn.
that's very true.
I have done that before.
Yeah, if you could play all 3 of those ties on turn 2, I can't kill them all, but I could kill them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So there's only one that's like a 4/1. There's a 4/1 hidden. Like somebody had 3 of those in their hand and they played. So turn 1 they played 1. The turn 2 they played 2 more, and I just kind of laughed. I was like, well, I've killed 2 out of your 3 units and you've done 4 damage to my base in 3 turns. I think I feel good. I'm good. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about your turn 1 plays, right? For the most part, I think the easy thing is to say turn 1 is BT1, right? Like BT1 or a black
Aura.
or Aura.
Aura
Sorry.
for sure. Over every other one of the ones, Aura is the best turn 1 play you have to buff and then be able to do a guaranteed for it. Because whether that be base or taking out anything minus Gungi, like you want to just have that stability, because you can play Sebulba's deck as just, you can switch between playing controlling their units and being an aggro deck. It depends on the deck you're playing against and what you think their top end is going to look like and how all that shakes out later into it. But BT is definitely the second best, and you're not playing Interrogation Droid on curve. Black Sun is kind of your backup just if you need to pivot to space. And the Screeching Ties are still originally from a package I had with Storm Raiders, so I would have 6 1-drops in case I ever drew the ones together, and then I could fill in the gaps of a 2-drop and then a 1 cost by turn 3 if I still needed to. But I ultimately cut the Storm Raiders from the list that I'm using right now just because I wanted the pilots, and this list just runs together so smoothly. But
Screeching Die is really good against, like, your
Yes.
Obi-Wans, right? Because you can block their Restore, you can block their Sentinel.
yes, that just kills Restore and Sentinel, and you're right. Like, that's exactly what that's there for, and that is only what that's there for.
And if they know force Shatterpoint it, so be it. They Shatterpoint a 2/1 space unit.
If
you're jumping up and down.
Which just really makes me feel like you should have the Iden's main deck, only for the pure fact that if you can upgrade an Iden into that too, now that thing's got extra health and is churning off their Restore every single time.
Because then you don't care about their Sentinel and stuff on the ground. If you're putting all your eggs into the space basket and they kill that, and you're just stuck there with your pants down, like, okay, now I have a dead 5/4 shielded in space and nothing else.
And there, tree still exists, right? So then you just dumped a lot of resources into something that gets taken out in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but can't you say that about putting a pilot on anything? I guess I'm just
Yes.
like technically speaking,
Yes.
Like, okay, so like
There's a lot of upgrade hate and pilot hate in the meta right now.
Well, and but you guys keep toting that, like the pilot thing is the big thing for this deck, and it's like,
That's why I'm
well,
saying it goes in the side and not main deck.
oh, okay,
Yes. Like, it's definitely matchup dependent. If I'm playing against an Obi-Wan and it's resource 4 and they play even 1 resource, I'm putting the biggest thing I can on Sebulba's Pod Racer, eating their turret, readying, eating something else, because I know Sebulba's Pod Racer is still going to die, and they're going to draw some removal or another Sentinel or something that I'm going to have to throw that upgraded thing into. When I upgrade Sebulba's Pod Racer and they don't have anything scary on the board, then I'm going to base. But if they have something that I'm worried about is going to take out the rest of my units, I would rather build a board and trade Sebulba's Pod Racer into their units, so then I have a swarm and they have nothing. But
so let's talk about Sturgiant Prime for a few minutes there, because that's a 4 resource cost, and that you don't have a way of discounting, right? So like you have to play that on 4 resources. So when are you specifically playing that card?
I'm either playing that when there's something really annoying that I don't want to do. I don't draw IG-88 or Hana, because those are your best 2 4 resource plays, like hands down. Or like if something just needs to stay down and I'm worried it's going to continue to eat a few of my units or just weigh me down, or even if I just want to race you, then I can play that on that. I've just bricked whatever your entire turn was unless you have upgrade hate, but you've still got to wait for it to ready again. And then I'm burn damaging your base just slowly over time. You can restore, but I'm now countering your restore as you do it. So I play that against Obi all the time. So yeah, you can Shatterpoint your own unit, have fun, but I do not care.
I mean, they could also just keep their unit up and wait until something you can run into to kill it.
Yes,
well.
but you usually play it on an exhausted unit to keep.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Also sucks really bad in the Qui-Gon, which is kind of funny. But I mean,
yeah, you just resource it like
can't
it's a
beat
dead
every
deck.
deck. Yeah. I mean, I see it because it is a source of additional burn damage. Just seems 3 might be a little excessive in my head.
Well, Tanner, didn't I get 2 of them against you, and I had the other one in hand, and I won that game?
That was the only way he won that game, was because of that stupid card.
I just feel like it could be a 3rd collateral instead to achieve
Yeah.
roughly the same thing.
And
The
that's
diff-
why I have that in the side, just because it's just that good.
Yeah, the big difference. Well, the big difference is with the Surgian Primes is you can remove it if you have upgrade hate removal. But like, yeah, in my Slime deck, I mean, I don't have you don't have anything really because you can't beguile your own unit, so it sucks. I actually that's why Waylay was like I want my Waylay back. You can have beguile. I don't give a shit. You can have your stupid card that looks at other people's hands. I just want Waylay back. Because if you know how to play against the majority of the decks out there, for the most part, to some extent, what they have in their hands, and you can kind of guess the lines if you play enough cards, right? It's just give me my Waylay so I can get my damn, units back. Then you can keep your Surgian Prime. If Waylay existed, I don't think Surgian Prime actually exists at all.
True. Yep, I completely agree.
But anyway, so yes, I also agree that it's probably overkill to have that your collateral. In my Boba deck, the collateral is a million times better. Because even if I just need the 2 damage to do the 2 damage to base, it's like the Daring Raid that kills something and can just end the game, But you also don't have those Cavern X-Wings in there either, like that.
True.
That's a high potential for this deck. Is a Cavern X-Wings because you can play those and that does the 2 damage to their base.
And also dies to Aura.
And it dies to Aura, and then does 2 damage anyway. So you paid 1 to do 2 damage, see? Or 2 to do 2 damage.
It's like Daring Raid.
Yeah, it's expensive Daring Raid. But yes.
It's like what, Target the Generator or whatever is out of Battle of Hoth. The 2 cost do 2 damage to the base.
Yep. You could put that in there too. That's a card that exists. That's what Alex would
I've
say.
seen people play it.
It's in a couple of decks.
No, I mean, I think let's look at the Atlanta sector. So in the top 8, who other than in just Lando and Obi, they either have to Shatterpoint or Protect the Pod, their own unit to kill it and get rid of it, Galen it for Obi, and then going over to Lando, yeah, they have the X Forgets, which that one would suck if they do that to their own unit, or they Watch This. And those are the only cards that they can do to get rid of that in both of those decks. And that means they have to, spend a good amount of resources in OB to kill their stuff, or they just happen to draw into that one over time. And
if they care about killing their own unit.
Which they probably won't for a good while. And by the time you have them that deep where they do care about doing it, it's too late for them.
It's just a lot of those decks, if you're putting it on a bigger unit, they tend to be unique. So eventually they might be able to replace themselves. So that's a little bit weird too.
Let's talk a little bit about your sideboard and what comes in for each of the different matchups, right? So we'll start with the Guerrilla Soldiers. What are the Guerrilla Soldiers in there for, and when do you bring them in? The other thing is if you're bringing them in, what are you taking out to bring them in?
So I have them in right now for Aura because it is my weakest matchup, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. But this has made it feel better, even though I'm still losing it. Because if they're playing a unit and I'm able to do enough damage to it, I can ready. And this works for a lot of other decks. It's just being able to get that ready if they play a 3 health and a non-2/4. Against Obi, I'm not bringing this in any circumstance whatsoever. But if I'm playing against Lando Lake Country, yeah, I'll play this and I'll start with a BT, ping their Codebreaker for 1. They faith in their friends. I'm going to do this and make them spread out this damage that I can then use BT to trade into their other stuff later. Or they're going to let me ready and I'm going to eat a spy right then and there. But there's a bunch of different uses for the sideboard. I kind of made that just toolboxy, hopefully, just in case it was able to spread out a different.
So what do you take out then? If you're putting those in there, what are you taking out?
Probably. I mean, it depends on the deck, but aggressive negotiations has been going into the sideboard and trade for a lot of outs that I need, because you don't build the hand that you need. It only ever builds for +2, +3, because you do still have to resource a lot of the times, or you're emptying your hand to build a huge board.
All right. How about the Celestin Sapper? When are you bringing that in?
When they're opening with 2/4s a lot, or if they're a spy generation deck at all, and I can just continuously eat a bunch of these spies. Against your Slime Ore, that would have been amazing, because I can just keep eating that over and over again until you trade into me.
All right, and I think we already kind of discussed the Idens, but if you, so you're Alex, you said you pull the Hanas out and put the Idens in. That's kind of the main swap for those.
I mean, that's when I sent to my like Sebulba Yellow splash. I had Idens over Hana's in general, but I can see why Hana is main decked in this, and then Idens are in the side.
Well, sure. So, but if I'm going to bring my Idens in, what am I pulling out then?
I mean, if you're not going against a credit deck, then you bring out the Arvils, right? Like it just kind of depends on what you're going against. If they're like a ground heavy, then maybe the Idens go in. I mean, it's Sam's deck. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
No, you are making a lot of right calls because me and you have kind of tested this, and like I've asked you a lot of questions and worked with you on this one. But yeah, the Arvils are very touch and go. Like I don't hate having him just as a potential 5/3 because I usually can buff him by resource 4, but he's more of a threat to credit decks, just keeping him out there. Sure, you generate a credit. I have a readied Arvel. Are you going to do anything, or am I just going to sit here with it?
Probably the IG-88s, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, and I think we know the other ones. Like you bring in the Outer Rim if you need to kill upgrades, and the Commence the Hate is when you need that extra reach damage for a base. But you have a third Vader in there. When are you bringing in the third Vader, and what are you pulling out to bring the third Vader in?
If I'm bringing in the Idens, I'm also bringing in the third Vader because that means I have enough confidence that I'm going to get a readied Sebulba's pod and be able to do the 4 resource stack pod, or like buff the pod, swing, do the whole shebang there. But I'm probably pulling out, yes, all 3 Arvils, 1 Commence, 1 Aggressive, and probably 1 Screeching Tie, just because I want to guarantee just 2 drop, whether it be BT or Aura, and then go into pod and then go into buff. But
so cool. I have one other question, and then we could probably go ahead and wrap up for this segment.
Okay.
Why not bring salvage? Like, because you're running a splash base, right? Like, you could play salvage for. I mean, you could play it for 2 as well, but you could always play it for free to bring your Sebulba's pod racer back, discard the card, and do the shenanigans over and over again.
Because they'll just kill it again.
Okay.
Because it'll be a 3/2 by that point. And let's say I did do that on 4. I play that on the Sebulba's pod on 3, they kill it. I play salvage on 4 to bring it back. That means I spent my entire turn and used the base to just play Sebulba's pod as a 3/2, which they could take a spy into at that point and then just mow it down. Like, it just feels too weak.
Would you have the ability? So let's say they can't kill it. All right, so let's just pretend they aren't killing it. So you play it, you get your extra damage off. The next turn, they do kill it, right? So they spent their resources. You flip your Sebulba, do your shenanigans, play your salvage, and bring it back. Can you activate it technically a second time? So, like, can you swing in with it, activate it, have them kill it, bring it back, do the same thing again, technically, if you could discard a card?
Yeah, there's not like memory in this game.
Yeah, because it's like a new ship, right? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. To me, I maybe salvage isn't worth it. I don't know. But I mean, it feels like being able to bring that back, if that's like some of the big part of the deck, could be highly beneficial.
If it was a 3/4, I would completely agree, and there would be no doubts in my mind. But it just feels so small. And like Alex, what you were saying about in the Lando deck, that 3/2. Like, yeah, you could just be playing all these other things on the 2 resource costs.
Yeah, like any 3 attack thing just kills it immediately, which is really bad.
And it's indifferent. But I do see what you're saying, and I have seen a green build that salvage and like a whole droid package is in. But I just messed with it a little bit, and it wasn't all up to what it seemed. But I mean, everyone thinks when you sit down against a Sebulba, they're going to be playing all of these pumps and doing all of these just like Sabine style things. But you can play it as hyper aggro. You can slow the game out and trade into their units because Sebulba's ability is so universal that you can use it for so many different things. And that's the part that I like about it the most.
The only thing I would consider is maybe cutting in aggressive negotiations in a Stygium for like the 2-3 vanilla space unit, just so you have more things to put pilots on.
Could be. Well, all right. Well, thank you, Sam, for that lovely deck tech tonight. That was definitely different. We can't hear you.
See you next weekend at the PQ.
Yeah. See you next weekend at the PQ.
You didn't tell us how to beat the deck.
Nope, we're not, and we're not going to. We're going to leave that.
Just kill everything.
And this will be posted on Friday, so you can't make any changes.
Yeah, so let's move on to our spoilers tonight. We have quite a few spoilers. I don't know how many we'll get through, but we're going to get through as many as we can for tonight. We have our first look at Ashes of the Empire. So I'll be honest, I'm a little more excited than I thought I would be. I don't like when we get, like, I don't believe we've solved the meta for this set, and like I just want to play this set right now. And like, I'll be honest with you, I'm having the most fun. Minus the fact that I'm missing a few of my control cards that I really want to be able to play hard control and I can't. So like I'm missing a few of those cards, but outside of that, like right now is really great because there's so many options. You know, in our last segment we talked a little bit about, you know, like the deck tech for Sebulba. People aren't really running Sebulba. People talked about it when it first came out, and then nobody's playing it now, and it didn't show up in the top 40 at Atlanta, and you know people are trying the client out. And the big thing would be, excuse me, sorry. The big thing is like, we get these spoilers and it's like, oh, let's get excited about this next set, but I haven't even finished this set yet. Like I could actually have 2 sets a year and be happy. Like that would just be me. Like that would be my life if I could have 2 sets and let them like kind of tweak. This is the X-Wing guy in me talking, right? That's what they used to do.
Point change was easy.
They just tweak the points and it wasn't a big deal. It's a little harder with printed cards, but anyway, so we have Ashes of the Empire. We got, technically, because we didn't do this last week, we actually had 3 leaders to talk through. 2 starter deck leaders and then a brand new leader, which I'm kind of excited to talk about, I'll be honest with you, just because it's different a little bit. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it is different. So we are going to give Alex, we're going to let Alex spoil the Palpatine, though it's not our favorite Palpatine. It's a yellow Palpatine, which is weird to me.
At least it has Emperor in the name. I'm excited about that.
And he is sitting on a throne, which means this is going to
buy him.
This is going to cost you a fortune too, because the hit rates are down, and this is a starter deck one, so it's not even. It's less guaranteed than any of these other ones.
Well, I'm assuming it's the same pull rate as any other showcase, but
I don't think so. Maybe.
Why would it be any different?
Like probability wise, because you don't have that regular leader going in there, so it's just going to be the showcase. You're never going to pull that other leader.
Yeah, that's every showcase in a pack.
I don't know. We'll look at the numbers. I bet you there's a difference. So
okay.
Anyway, go ahead and let's go.
Yeah, you got yellow villainy Emperor Palpatine. Dig it. It's exactly episode 6 Palpatine. It's great. He reads as an action. Choose an exhausted friendly unit and give it an advantage token for each other friendly unit. Advantage tokens are one of the new things for this set. It gives you +1/+0 until you attack or defend. After your attack and defend ends. So you can stack a whole bunch of advantage tokens if you have a big board. He flips on 7. He's a 4/8. That's what happens when you flip a turn earlier. You just lose 2 health. He is a Force Imperial Sith and official. And on attack, you may choose another exhausted friendly unit. Good thing it says another. If you do, give an advantage token to it for each other friendly unit.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about advantage tokens, Alex. What is an advantage token?
It gives you +1/+0. And when your attack ends or your defend ends, you defeat that upgrade.
It's while when your defend ends as well, it defeats it?
Yep. It's when your attack or defend ends.
That doesn't seem as good as I thought it was. That actually seems kind of bad, right?
I mean, it's literally free with Palpatine because you don't have to spend a resource, right? You just have to have a lot of other people on your board, and your unit has to be exhausted. It'd probably be really busted if it was unexhausted, because then you could just immediately use all those.
Yep. But I think of it as like a temporary raid is what what it kind of feels like, except for I guess if you can kill it when it's exhausted. But it does like, so for example, if you ran this with blue and you had turrets sitting down there, you could exhaust, let's say, a Porg and then go, oh, I got 4 other units. I'm going to give turret +4.
Well, you're not exhausting your own units. You just choose an exhausted one. So it's like if you just played Chariot or already swung with them or something, then you can give them an advantage token for every other friendly unit you have.
Yeah, so you could then give him 4 advantage tokens. So the first person that swings in, you don't even have to use your 4 space anymore with him.
Well, I mean,
you don't, because they're going to swing in, and then it's like, well, who cares? Unless it can do 5 damage to him, you don't care.
Right. And yeah, so you can give it to things like Sentinels, which I'm sure will come up later. Just like to give them higher attack or any other unit, or dissuade people from swinging into like, maybe you have like Partigras or something, right? It was just like an 06, and you can just feed them up so they take damage back. Or spies or whatever.
Ask Sam how many times he killed my Partigras last week, and for no reason. He didn't even he never got his raid off. He just killed him anyway. Nobody wanted him to live.
Maybe.
All right, so Palpatine seems good. Before we talk about Luke, so JJ's going to spoil Luke for us. There was a design discussion, I guess, and so if you watch the stream, and I don't know, there was a stream from FFG. There was also a spoiler stream from TCG Player, and so what I will say is that if you have not watched that other stream, you should 100% go back and watch the TCG Player stream, because Tyler and them talk actually a little bit more than what they talked about on the FFG stream. And I'm guessing they did that on purpose because it's, TCG Player. But the design piece of this was the fact that this set is going to basically start at the end of 6 and then go forward from there into an unknown time period, which is obviously the Mando Grogu discussion. Which, by the way, next week I guess we're gonna have to start predicting leaders next week. I hate doing it this early, but I guess we have to do it because
it's literally called way too early for a reason, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. So I have my list, by the way. I already actually built my list. I was proactive this time, and I have my list ahead of time. But
yeah,
anyway,
I got a few guesses too that I can't wait to say. So
if you say Asha, and what's the other lady's name?
No.
Like, just so you know ahead of time, I am going to mute you till the end of the stream, and then you can give all your answers at the end of the stream, and then we'll just be like, okay, good job, JJ. Yep. Oh, good job. Yep.
Stormtrooper number 2.
Yeah, my favorite one, the one that whipped out that laser baton and then got wrecked by Finn.
Yeah. The guy who hits his head on the
door guy
board that's going in.
No, you can't have that guy because he's not from episode 6. He's from episode 4 4.
He could be in episode 6. You don't know.
The half-armed guy from Mandalorian.
Anyway, so the idea behind this side is it starts one place and goes to another place. So they wanted their spotlight leaders to be that. Which I'll be honest with you, as somebody that enjoys Star Wars lore a lot, and somebody that really enjoys this card game, I like the thematic piece of that. JJ, go ahead, tell us what in God's Green Earth is Luke Skywalker.
So Luke Skywalker coming in, he reads with the subtext, I can save him, and it reads, when a friendly unit attacks ends, you may exhaust this leader. If you do heal 1 damage from that unit, he has Force, Jedi, and Rebel, and then when he deploys on 7 resources, he has 6 attack, 7 health, and then it reads, when the friendly unit attack ends, heal 2 damage from that unit or from your base, which is pretty nice, being able to choose either healing from your unit or to your base there as well. It's okay at best. I mean, I guess if you really go into the Sentinel piece of the list building with Luke Skywalker, that could potentially help, being able to pair this with like Chirrut, for instance, who can help use the Force to reduce the enemy's attack while they go into it. Could be pretty nice to do that as well. Just to kind of get that constant health regen on him and just lock down the ground, assuming that your opponent doesn't have like enough saboteur units. That is kind of useful in that particular instance, or it could work on the space side as well if you have space sentinels on there as well. Wish that he could deploy just a resource sooner, just so he can be a little more effective early on, being able to heal, units there. But still, it's an okay card.
Did we already have a leader that did this?
That heals
The
one
Obi-Wan
from your
step 4?
unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can. That didn't require them to attack.
I know, I'm just saying, but didn't we already have a leader that had the same, almost the exact same text, except for you, it was an action instead of after it attacks.
Right.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not crazy.
Also,
This
that
was-
body looks pretty
that
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
And
does
then
he
heal
why
him
does he
back.
get 6-7 and damn it, why does he get that and we have Palpatine for a 4-8? Come on.
You'd rather
I've
have
seen
a
Palpatine attack in like the OG trilogy.
Oh,
Good point.
Yes, I had. He used the Force Lightning all the time.
Yep.
There you go. We should have
That's
a card that hopefully we get a card that lets him use Force Lightning again.
We should have a Force Lightning card,
Yes,
but for
again.
yellow.
Yes, give it to
Again.
me. Give it to me. So I don't think this is a horrible leader. I think just the fact that you get to flip and you're a 6-7 just is. I mean that's pretty good. Like you compare him with Cinta, right? We've talked about this before. You pair him with Cinta, you just swing in. And
I actually like his art too.
Yeah, his art is pretty good.
I like it more than the Palpatine art, which is really sad.
I just hope that we get a really good like hyperspace or what am I saying? A
Showcase.
really good showcase. Yeah.
they're gonna butcher that. I can already see because that's how I felt about the Luke or the pilot leader. And
Yeah,
then
but
we
the
got
set
that.
one Luke was really good.
True,
As long as
but
we
that
get-
was like for Vegas.
As long as we get the Sebastian Stan Luke, that'd be great.
the question I have is, will these be on the prize wall at Galactics? Should we take our bets now?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say yes.
Because we're all going to Galactics, and if this is on the prize wall for Galactics, I am 100% getting Palpatine.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're not getting the Luke, you're getting the Palp.
Nope, I don't care about Luke. I'll get. I did get the Luke when I got both Vader. I got 2 Vaders and a Luke when I went there last time. So, I mean, and I traded a Vader for a Palpatine. Ironically enough. All right, well, let's move on to the last leader. That this one was revealed by AMC, by the way,
Yep.
and then FFG. But originally it was revealed by AMC, and I will say I do not know the JJ in the commercial in the trailers for this. I don't remember Babu being with Grogu. I don't remember that in the
Well,
trailers.
it's a group of Azalians, and it's a part where I guess they blew something up, and then he says, "You're very good, baby," and like that's the quick flash that we get. It's the view of the cockpit in the inside, and Grogu's in the
Yeah,
back.
not all Babu Fricks are the same.
Yeah.
Fine, fair enough. All right, Sam, what is this leader?
Grogu is a blank leader, and then when you play a unique unit that costs 4 or more, you could flip him if he's ready, and then he is a 0/3. I'm just selling it really well. He's a force unit. While another friendly unit is defending, it gets +1, and then another friendly unit is attacking the defending unit gets -1. I don't like it at all, but I'm just a hater.
He's just a buff, but on a unit.
Yeah, what I want to know is why does it have the 4 resource cost, but it doesn't cost anything to actually play him?
Or I guess the purposes of some cards that affects units that cost a certain amount.
Okay,
True.
Yep,
But
you
you-
can't tree him.
well, you
Yeah.
can't tree a leader
Yeah,
anyway.
you can. If it costs 3 or
Hold
less.
on.
Like, you can tree like a Luke on like a red 5.
Okay.
Because it's just defeat a unit that costs 3 or less. That's why it's nice.
Hmm.
I just blew Sam's mind, apparently.
You did just blow.
Yeah,
Sam's
it's
mind.
called reading cards. That's why they have like the K-Wings and stuff in Luke. Because they cost 4, so you can't tree them.
Anyway, so what do we think about this leader? This is very different. It is a multi-deploy leader, which I do like, but it's a multi-deploy leader that doesn't do anything but give buffs every turn. We like that more than any of the other leaders.
You can plot things with them.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's just like play a unique unit that like costs for more. So if you happen to have like a lot of credits or like a Jedi Counselor or something, you can drop them out like turn 2.
I mean, honestly, like the best way to like take advantage of plot with here is like playing low and wide, and then having like stuff like trade route taxation if you're playing him in green. So as long as you have more units than your opponent, then your opponent can't play event cards, and you can do that multiple times in a game. So that is a really good way to just ensure that your units don't get like destroyed by like a lot of different event cards that can potentially like crush them out, and then on top of that they get buffed on defense and on offense there. So that is a pretty good way to take advantage of that if you can get that off reliably. That's the best use I get to see of him.
He's an indirect damage absorber.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think I just broke him. They hate that ship out the Razor Crest, and then you can flip him that turn.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I was saying
Turn 1.
earlier. Like if you have anything to drop early, you can bring them out. Granted, is they hate that ship going to do too much? Probably not. I mean, he's not really swinging, but he's also a force unit. So if you're playing like force bases, you can still swing. You don't do damage. You can give him lightsabers. Give him a constructed lightsaber, right? Then he's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, and he sits there, and I will say his static ability, if you could get him to stick, his static ability is actually pretty good. Like, that's
really annoying.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good ability. Like, I guess I could see why he doesn't have any why he doesn't have any non-unit ability, because that would probably be broken. And they alluded to they had a leader that they had to change in one of the interviews. So my belief is, I bet it was this one. we may find out later.
Palpatine?
No, I thought
it wasn't hitting exhausted things. I don't know. I could be making that up.
I personally like this, and I will be happy to test this out just personally. Like,
it's interesting that it only matters if you are attacking or you are defending, right? Like it's not like it goes into base more, so it's not really like an aggro kind of leader. It's more of like a unit control kind of thing. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like when we got the Mandalorian. Remember that one in set 2 or whatever, and Mando was like he wasn't like the aggro leader, but he did weird little things. Like, well, that's what this kind of feels like it's doing. It's doing something that's not. It's pushing the boundaries of how we play the game, is what it kind of feels like. All right, well, let's move on. Go ahead. You have something?
I was just gonna say, I'm just kind of sad he doesn't have this Mandalorian subtext. That would have been nice.
There's probably a good reason for that. There's probably a very good reason for that, JJ. Just so you know. All right, let's move on. We have the Razor Crest was the other thing that was spoiled by the article. This is a 4-cost red 3/5 Mandalorian vehicle transport. It has Saboteur. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, this unit gets +2 for this attack. Seems pretty good.
Han is better.
It works well with rocks.
With the
Yeah, that's a rock. Where you just pitch it and then do a damage and you get more.
I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
That's hilarious. So that's good.
Any like discard mechanic like that, right?
Yeah.
It seems solid enough.
I like it for. I think of Chewie right now because that's what I play a lot of Chewie. So this is a Chewie card. Like you would put this in a Chewie deck. So
It's an Anakin card. Get Anakin online. I forgot that we still had to figure out ways to do that nowadays.
I don't think anybody's trying to get Anakin online anymore.
Really?
Who plays?
We just left that behind in set 6?
Yep.
Oh, that Anakin. I see.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
thought,
blue Anakin.
I thought you meant the Anakin leader that JJ tried to give us a deck for that I just shut down. I was like, no, shut up. Don't bring this back. I don't want JJ to get any more ideas. No.
Well, now we got a new Anakin Skywalker for Anakin. I'm just saying.
Oh no. Anakin Lake Country.
I mean, if we're done with the Razor Quest, by all means, JJ, go over the Anakin.
All right, cool. So we have a 5-cost Anakin Skywalker's corpse coming in with 6 attack, 4 health. He's of course in Jedi.
Say what aspect he is, because that's the more.
Yeah, he is heroic only aspect. Comes in with hidden, hilariously, saboteur, and when played, give a shield token to another friendly unit. Actually, decent card because it has a really big punch at 5 costs with 6 health, and it comes in hidden. So unless your opponent has an event card that can take him out, you're able to at least guarantee that 1 punch with him for the following turn, and also giving a shield token to another friendly unit is pretty good as well. To help somebody else survive for the following turn as well. I think this is actually probably going to see some pretty good play on there.
I just wonder what non-gameplay mechanics the hidden saboteur come from. Is it just because he bamboozled Palpatine?
Yeah, that does not make a whole lot of sense.
It's just funny to me, he's the most notorious person on the Death Star, and somehow they gave him hidden. Pretty sure everybody noticed.
Yeah, and the best part is this is probably his strongest non-leader appearance, because the other one was, or this is the best at least power card we've had for him, because I'm ignoring the set 366. That thing was dumb.
Why?
Because it just was not a good card in my eyes at all.
It's all play. It was totally fine. Yes. Yes.
In what deck?
A lot of red force decks at the time, or little red force decks and legends. You'd see it occasionally pop up, but it was just a good filler card in a lot of set 3 and 4.
Okay, that's fair. But either way, why did they give him the dying art to give him one of his strongest hit point versions of him that we've gotten so far? What is this?
He just killed Palpatine. That's why.
I mean, at least it wasn't when they burned his body. That could have been.
Force Ghost Anakin.
Yeah. If they did Force Ghost Anakin, what character do you think they would use? Would they use Hayden Christensen or the original actor? No fun.
Hayden.
Cowards.
I mean, they already did use Hayden as
a Force Ghost. Yeah.
Retroactively, sure.
But that's what they would use in the image.
Lame.
We will be getting Force Ghosts at some point. I guarantee it.
It's like getting a Force Ghost what's Ewan McGregor? It just feels weird.
It will be fun. I love Force Ghosts in Destiny. They were the fun. They were the
also,
best to play.
This Anakin is a Jedi. That's weird to me.
Anakin technically was a Jedi.
Yeah, I know.
And he got absolved of his sins.
He was a Sith for significantly longer.
Well, he got absolved. No, he got absolved of his sins, and he became a Jedi again. That's what happened. He was absolved, and now he's a Jedi.
You sure they're welcoming him back to the Jedi Order after killing a substantial amount of children?
Well, they don't technically know he did it because they're all dead.
Luke was just
I think you're helping our point on that one. Yeah, no, it's funny because you can do weird things that interact with Jedi with him. Throw him in a Kit Fisto deck and see what happens, right? You can swing with him and then do damage. It's an interesting card. We'll see if it sees play.
Yeah, let's move on to the Darth Vader. What's the Darth Vader card, Alex?
Yeah, it's Darth Vader, who is the reverse stats of the Anakin. But the Anakin's just better because it bypasses, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so it's Vader. He's a starter card. He's a 5-cost straight villainy. He's a 4/6 Force Imperial Sith, and he is shielded. And while this unit is ready, he gains Sentinel.
And everybody will be very sad when they play him and you immediately exhaust him.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm putting Disciple's Devotion on him, so he gains Sentinel when he's exhausted.
There you go. Hey, we finally can use that card.
Hey, it gives me +1/+3. He turns into a 5/9. That's just always Sentinel, and he's shielded.
I mean, we're slowly getting enough Sith units to have like a really solid Darth Revan deck.
Yes, and I got the Darth Revan showcase, baby. So I'm here for it. Then we can play. There's always two.
I was about to say, Tanner, you and I can make really expensive Revan decks with the championship Maliks.
Yep. We have all of the expensive stuff. So
I even have the Judge like Revan's lightsabers. I can make it like
that I
super
don't have.
tricked out.
Yeah, I don't have the Judge one. So. All right, let's move on. I don't think there's anything special about this. Like, they told us the cards were designed to interact with each other as opposites. So there you go. So
Except for it's a completely one-sided fight.
Yeah.
they kill each other. I
If
don't.
Anakin decides, he could just like run past them.
Yeah, he could just keep swinging the base over and over.
All right. So
I'm
the
just waiting
other.
for the God.
I was just gonna say, I just the other things that the other token that they revealed was Mandalorian tokens, which they are blue, by the way, specifically blue, and they are a 2/2 Mandalorian that comes in shielded, like it's a shielded 2/2 token. So they're not like the spy, which is a 0/2. These are 2/2s and get shield. So I don't know how the hell they're going to cost these things.
What the hell?
Do you know what's kind of wild? They trigger things like Chopper, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because they're blue cards, so you get like multi-aspect stuff without even necessarily having to run multi-aspect stuff.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We shouldn't tell a lot of people about that, though, Alex.
I mean,
But
Sabine's
yes.
really good when you're just like, I'll just kill any upgrade, right? Just because I have
Yep.
a Mandalorian buddy.
Yeah, anytime you can just play the Mandalorian and then, or play this Mandalorian token. So I do not know how much it's going to cost to play a Mandalorian token, but I hope to God, I hope that
I'm
it's,
sure it will not be nearly as efficient as I Am the Senate.
I hope not. Unless it's a 10 cost. So this is the new confidence and victory. play five Mandalorian tokens. All right, anyway. And there's a copy of the advantage tokens. As you can see, they have the best characters in Star Wars right there on those token cards. The little Ewoks killing stormtroopers. I hope to God we get to see 3PO, King, Ewok.
That'd be great.
I want Ewoks. I really want Ewoks. I don't think we're gonna get them, but I really want Ewoks from this set. So,
Homeworlds.
all right. R5D4. What is that droid?
JJ, they did it. They did
Yes.
it. They put in Skippy the Force droid.
He doesn't have the Force though.
I know, it's a tragic oversight.
Yes. Well, he had to die in order for him to get it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, he self-sabotaged himself.
Yes.
I mean, JJ, go over it because this is
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
funny to me.
So this is the 3-cost R53D4, coming in with the red and heroic aspect. He's a 3-attack, 4-health droid, coming in with support, which is the new key text here, which is when you play this unit, you may attack with another unit and against this unit's other abilities for this attack. And on attack, defeat all upgrades on the defending unit. Super, super, super good. It's going to be so good for a lot of like rebel units that can like go really, really aggro. I would love playing this in Saul. I would love playing this with Cassian. This is going to see a lot of play. This is so good.
Cassian. Nobody plays Cassian anymore.
I
Like
like Cassian, man.
I'm just saying. Like he's not. Nobody plays him. He's not.
This
Are you
makes
sure?
my Llama Sue so sad.
Yep.
Good.
The one thing I had going for me is that eventually Llama Sue can just get huge by stacking a bunch of upgrades on him. And now literally any unit you play could just nuke him off the board.
It also shows another keyword called support, which I'm very sad if we only get this in Hero. Because that's so far what it feels like is we're only going to get this in Hero.
I doubt we're only going to get it in Hero.
No.
Okay.
Nothing has been exclusive like that.
No, I'd quit the game because that's just ridiculously dumb.
Although I am having a hard time remembering any exploit heroic cards, so maybe that is slightly untrue.
Mm. Go ahead and check there, Sam. There might be a couple
neutral.
of neutral,
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
there's
are
neutral stuff for sure.
but I'm saying this support, you're not. Maybe we'll get it in neutral, but then it just means it really benefits hero. If this is an only hero trait, we will always just be playing hero. I just can't imagine playing villain if I can get all these support. I mean, this 3-3-4 just on attack defeat all upgrades is pretty good as it is. The fact that you now,
there's no reason to believe this is just exclusively a heroic thing.
I kind of do, just so you know.
Well, again, there's no reason to believe that, other than they revealed a couple hero cards that have them.
I don't know. I'm scared now too.
See,
I'm not buying the Sebulba showcase anymore.
but don't worry, Sam. If you don't do well next week, it'll be down to $100 soon. So then you can buy. Then it's worth buying.
Ooh, so I do bad one week to then buy it later. We're making statistical moves here.
All right, let's move on to the next one we have is a Helix Starfighter. It is a 4-cost yellow 3/3 underworld vehicle fighter. When played, if an opponent controls a space unit, give a shield token to this unit. Otherwise, give 2 advantage tokens to this unit. Seems okay.
What a great card for Vader. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
It's weird that like you're essentially paying an extra resource, right? Because a 3/3 for 4 is not good to either get a shield or +2 for 1 attack or defense, I guess. But
and
you
then they
get
swing
the
into
shield
you
because you'd have the space. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it's that great. But let's talk about the next one. There is no conflict, Alex. What? Do you got to get a showcase of this card? So you're going to need all hyperfoils of this card?
And it's a starter card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is kind of wild. There is no conflict. It's a 2-cost yellow ability card. It gives it's an upgrade. It gives you +2/+2, and when played, return any number of other upgrades attached to unit unattached unit to the owner's hands. So you can just kill any pilot straight up by giving that ship +2/+2, which is nice and interesting.
And if it has damage already on it, right? You know.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going to +2/+2, so it's a lot less good than that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's good for when Sam tries to put Stygian Prime in my stuff.
No.
Or Condemn.
Yeah, it's gonna be very good against Condemn decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it didn't say other. You could just keep bouncing it over and over again.
Yeah,
well, there is no conflict. So
yeah, there's no conflict in Boss say. But like,
I love it.
But again, like it bounces leader, so it can kill like Luke, right? Because it's returning it to hand instead of defeating it. So it's like bamboozle in that way.
Yeah, I like it. I actually like this card quite a bit. So
seems like a solid sideboard card.
Yeah. All right, Sam, what is the next unit that we have?
Oh, I thought you meant the Piet yellow card. So it's an 8-cost yellow villainy executor. It's a 5/12 for some reason. Imperial vehicle capital ship, and this unit gets +1 +0 for each upgrade on other friendly units, and when played, give an advantage token to each other friendly unit. So you play it, it buffs everything, and then you stay buffed for a little while. And then, unless you're a huge upgrade deck, that's going to go down slowly as you either get defended into or attack with. But I mean,
emergency powers is a card, so you can just like have one unit with like 6 experiences on it, and then just announce an 11/12.
I like that. That's awesome.
But yeah, again, another card that's just like, yeah, your yellow Palpatine deck is going wide. Because all of his stuff is about dealing with other things, but like the cards they revealed are really expensive cards, so that's going to be interesting to see how the deck pans out.
Faith in your friends.
Yeah, not with this one. You know what would be actually like? This actually would be good in Slimore. because you can.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going really wide, it's like a different crucible.
Yeah. It's a super Star Destroyer too, so it looks really cool. I don't know. It's interesting.
It's like
it's 12
prestige.
health. It's 12 health, baby. Like this thing only dies when you put a kill spell on it. Like how many ships do you have to run into this to just
Put your sentinel
or hyperspace disaster, right?
Yeah, I mean, no disintegrations. We're all good.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we got a few more, and then we'll call it a night here. We have Moth Gerard, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So we got the 2-cost Moff Gergerod coming in with Command Green and Villainy. He's a 1-attack, 3-health Imperial official. If you create a number of tokens, you may defeat this unit. If you do, create twice that number of tokens instead. What's that card?
Emergency powers again?
Yeah, emergency powers. Yep. Just double up everything you got, and then just kill Gergerod for it. My goodness. That's just. Oof.
So you can play Lamasu. You can play Lamasu when she's ready, right? He's ready, and then you can. Oh, you can't emergency powers Lamasu though. Oh,
correct.
Sad day.
I mean, if you have an Axe Wolves,
all right,
that's funny.
Yep. They better have an answer because you could probably do 20 damage to base.
Yeah, because each one of my each resource I'm spending essentially gives them +4/+4.
Oh my god!
And then use a splash base for Executor.
Is there a card that exhausts? There's a card that says they get one more churn, and then it ends the round. Is that card still in play?
No, that's Final Showdown.
Okay.
Or are you thinking of like Premonition of Doom, where if you claim the initiative, you exhaust their entire board?
Yes, I think that's it. Like, I'm just thinking of cards that like we're gonna have to play around this because, like, can you imagine like emergency powers with this? It's gonna be silly and like.
No, what's more funny is like scramble fighters in like a price deck, right? Where you're just like, and here's 16 TIE fighters, and I get +16 attack.
Yeah. And like the big thing with this one is you're going to be able to like do this very easily. Like, or think if you could get Mandos, like if you create Mando tokens, and now I'm going to be able to double that. Now I have like 2/2 shieldeds all over the place.
Yeah, I mean anything shielded is also creating a token, so you can kill them and give it 2 shields instead.
So I actually really like this card. I think this card is amazing. I'm very happy this is not in draft.
You could bring out the entirety of the Senate and just make 5 or 10 spies, right?
I will too. I will 100% get that off once.
Do you guys remember back in the set 6 spoilers where I quote said I think Emergency Powers is one of the best cards in the game, and all 3 of you were like, meh, maybe.
There wasn't enough data at the time.
Now.
I mean, look
it's
at
okay. Yeah, and they have Skippy the Force Droid to just kill it all with literally any unit.
Hold on, we could go. Let's go back to the meta analysis. Hold on, there's a card in here somewhere. I don't remember where it's at, but they have like he has statistics in here for cards, and I'm pretty sure Emergency Powers doesn't show up once.
Okay, all right.
Wait, hold on, I got it right here. Ooh, I can show everybody. Aggressive Negotiation, Blue Leader Shatterpoint. I'm down to Grungy. Fuck, it doesn't even show up. Oh, look. Oh, No Glory is better than that. It shows up more often. Lost
and also counters
Forgotten. Lost and Forgotten. Collateral Damage. Condemned. Man, I think I'm like 10, 12 rolls down, and I still haven't seen Emergency Powers, Sam.
I find Moff Gergerod funny, but a little gimmicky. Also 3 health. If you play him early, like you're not really creating a lot of tokens, presumably, and don't really know the rest of the cards in this set, right? And even it is like it's very advantage token heavy, right? I mean, it'd be cool for Mandalorians, right? If you're making Mandalorians and just make 2 of them instead of 1, but a lot of advantage tokens, cool, and you get 1 swing or 1 defend off. So I don't think he's like the nuts, but there is very funny scenarios you can do with him.
Yeah. All right. The Forest Patroller, we could skip. It's a 3/4/3 with raid that has restore 1. It's an Imperial Trooper.
Overall, restore 1, baby.
Yeah. It's great. Cool. Like, it'll definitely be see play in sealed. Like, this is a must draft card in Sealed. Let's talk about. Go ahead.
Just one quick comment. It just looks like FFG basically pasted a scout troop on top of a dark elf, like art for like Magic the Gathering on that. That's the only thing I just want to say. Anyway, go ahead.
Set one Moff Gideon, or no, Moff Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin, finally getting some support.
Yeah.
All right, we got Leia Organa. Who wants Leia?
Sam, you haven't gone into bed, right? I mean, I'll do Leia. I don't care.
Yes.
Leia, 3 cost, blue heroic. She's a 3/4 rebel official starter card. She has support. So her on attack is you may deal 1 damage to this unit. If you do, heal 2 damage from your base. That seems really good. I like that.
Yeah.
Especially
Seems
if your
good on
unit
Luke.
has grit. Because it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
anything you're
Grit.
swinging with.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah, I like it. 3 for 3 with like a bonus.
So you play her, you can swing into something, do the damage, then all of a sudden use Luke, and it just goes whoop whoop. Oh, yep, right, we're done. So
Yeah, Luke just spending 1 Leia attack to heal base twice.
yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it there for tonight. For spoilers, we will go through the rest of them maybe next week. We will definitely be doing our way too early leader spoiler thing, I guess, next week. So before they spoil any more damn leaders on us, I mean, we have 2 months for the set, so but I bet it's going to start not next week. I bet the first week in May we're going to get something. Especially because it is
the 4th.
Yeah, because it's May the 4th, and Grogu and Mando are coming out. So, as a side note, if you didn't see that, those 2 Mando and Razor Crest cards, I don't know if they're gonna have alt art, but you can go pick those up at AMC when you go see the movie.
Those are alt art versions of the ones coming out in this set.
Okay,
I believe is what they said.
so my opinion would be to go, like, they probably won't be worth a ton, and they're not designed as much to be like chase cards for people, but if you're gonna go see the movie anyway, you might as well get them. I've already tasked Monty and James to come with me, so that I can get a play set of them. And then really I then just need one other person to go with me so I can get a play set plus keep a set sealed.
Alex.
Then I have to see the movie.
Yeah, if you just give me the cards.
No, I want the cards. I don't want the
No.
movie.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you pay for my movie, I'll give you my cards.
No, I'm just gonna like stand outside AMC and just be like, "Here's $2. Give me those cards." And everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't even know what these things are."
And
I'm
I'm
just
gonna.
dig around in AMC trash cans.
Yeah, right?
I do kind of. I do wonder if they're going to have like a trailer or something for Unlimited in.
They have a QR code on the package, or like an insert with a QR code for like information on the game and stuff like that. I believe is what they were saying.
So that's pretty cool. I do like it that we're going to get this pushed out to a wider audience. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week with another episode of Planning Phase Syndicate. And if you want, you could check out our stream this Saturday as we stream the only Michigan PQ for this set. So yes,
Really sad.
Yeah, especially because Alex and we can't play, so Alex and I can't even like pair against each other this set. So I'm not gonna play. How can I play on stream?
No, put me on stream because I'll be the only other one of us there.
Okay, we'll do well, and we'll put you on stream. There you go.
Okay.
Because I could pick who goes on stream to some extent, but if you're at the lower end of the table, Sam, I'm not picking you to go on stream.
I'm on the bottom table. You're
not getting stream.
Get a Leia versus Sebulba.
Like Sam's getting paired with another 0-4 player.
Yeah. Here's the 2 0-4s for that decided to stick around and play the game just so that Tanner could stream them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you lose at 0-4, you have to hang up your swoo boots and you can no longer play Sloop. If I have to stream an 0-4 game and you lose it, you can no longer play.
Yeah, I'll sell my game. I'll sell my collection.
Yeah.
If that does, like, I would just hang it up there.
Or you have to
Going
play what
over
Alex and I tell you to play. I like that better. Instead of you selling it, you have to play the decks Alex and I tell you to play.
Okay, no, that seems worse because I feel like I'm going to be put with all these weird janky ass decks. Let's back that up now.
Dude, it's Trench.
Yep, you're going to be playing Trench Red, Force Space.
No!
There you go. We got Trench Red, Force Space.
And JJ's Anakin deck?
Yeah, I think I'll sell my collection. I think that one works.
I'll let you borrow my set, like 7 Leia showcase. Play a Leia deck.
Oh no, no, no!
I played against the Leia deck today.
How did that make you feel?
I felt bad for them.
That's probably the correct response.
Yep. And I played my experimental Chewy deck, so there you go. Like, it was even worse for them.
Feeling pity is a very human trait.
All right. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. And yeah, I'll see you on the flippity flop.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.